Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It is very early on a Sunday morning. I'm setting up to bring the Tamaretti to Dawn. Hopefully she likes it, I'm sure she will. Seat height's not that tall and has loads that's available that can be cut out, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, very busy. I've got the minimal time with the fan only because that's all that was available. I've got till 12. This is a tight squeeze, no joke, so I've got everything ready and out. When the fan gets here, it's going to be high speed running around, dumping the bike in, strapping it down, and gone. Alright guys, we're up and loaded. We're off to my favourite customer. Not forgetting Dawn's free gift. Pumbaa and Timon. Sorry you have to go guys, but you'll be looked after more here. And yeah. Anyway. There you go guys, bike number 2 is a Typhoon 125. Funny enough, they are the same engines with the Gilera and the Typhoon 125, so that will be interesting. Very similar engines at the moment, no key, but we'll work it out. So here we go guys, this is today's haul. This is a Pulse Force, I've never heard of it, 50cc 2-stroke I believe. Looking forward to digging into this one. Sadly the owner of these builds passed away, so they've been sitting a while. These are proper garden finds, they're not in the best nick. No logbook for this one or the other one. The Typhoon is no logbook or no keys. There is the potential that the logbooks pop up, I only need a photo of them, but if not, we'll go through that process in the long run anyway. I think the quickest turnover will be this Chinese Pulse, because it's there and it's got keys, and then the Typhoon's going to be a slow process. And then we've got a DNA back there, that's Amanda's DNA. I think I'll work on the Pulse first, because I want to. Haha, not really Amanda. Amanda's been really anxious that I wouldn't just focus on her DNA. I'm actually going to start her DNA today, okay, and the majority of the focus on the DNA will be next Saturday. But we've got 4 or 5 hours today, and you'd be amazed what we can achieve in 4 or 5 hours. So let's get these out. I need to get these out. I need to get the fan back and parked up. I need to get something to eat, and then I'm back 4 hours on the DNA, carb clean, change all the vacuum hoses, change the fuel pump, chuck the battery on charge while I'm doing all that, see if I can get that thing up and running. The other stuff will come further down the line. Okay guys, this is a Gilera DNA build. It's not pumping fuel at the moment and it desperately needs a carb clean. Now looking at our bottle yesterday, now I made a slight mistake guys, because we left it up by the B, but I just cleaned the carbs so they were loose. So we're now down on this top line here. Top line. So we'll know by the end of today or whenever next week whether that is working. But it doesn't matter anyway, because we didn't have a working vacuum line, and that's what we needed. So I've got a rebuild kit coming. I've got to admit, I don't really know how you do it, unless it comes like this and you push it through, unless it comes like this maybe, but online it doesn't show you it like this, it shows you in pieces, and these rubbers don't come off this, so I'm gonna have to work that out. But yeah, because you just can't rely on these carbs enough to shut off the fuel. You need the suction line as well, that's the whole point, that's why they're there. So step 1, take the battery off, chuck it on charge. Okay, let's start with the basics. Let's get the carb off, because that needs some dremeling and it needs cleaning. Carb off in my hand, that's step 1. Step 2 will be looking at the vacuum line, seeing what Amanda's bought for the bike, and basically putting some of that stuff on. So, step 1, carb off in hand, ready to clean. So, carbs free. Guys, have you seen the new slimline racing exhausts for the Gilera DNA? I bought one for Amanda. It's a custom made, definitely nothing to do with being squashed in transit. It's going to have a beautiful sound. I think Sultan did it. So guys, using the Dremel and putting a slit through all of the bolts like that. You just slit down so that you can get flathead in. I can get all these bolts undone. That's a good start. Oh, did you see that? Test the diaphragm. Where's it gone? Oh no, I hope it don't. Look, something's wrong with the diaphragm. I hope there's a spring in there. That is broke. Look at that. It's broke. Look, it doesn't come back down. It's a pain in the arse. Let me go and unpack what Amanda's bought in case she bought a new carb. I doubt it though. After doing this, I'll be a bit annoyed, but it'll be my fault for not checking. Okay, no carb, but that's good news. Bad news is the amount of bread she wants on this bike that she's going to make blue. Blue and red, dead. Yeah, maybe. These levers should work. I've had trouble with them in the past, but should be a fairly direct replacement. It's easy enough to do. Anyway, let's get this carb split open. Let's see how clean or dirty it is. By the way, she got a new oil filter, that's great, and a new fuel pump, which is interesting. And then we've got some fuel lines, suction lines, stuff like that. So we're good at the moment. Let's start getting let's get the carb cleaned. That's kind of step one for me, carb cleaned. So some of the immediate problems we've got a slide that's not smooth. In fact, look, it's still stuck up. That's an issue. The fuel advancer, which is this here, flicks fuel out. Look, stuck down. Every time you pull the throttle, that advances, that squirts up and advances the ignition. So if that gets stuck down and doesn't come back up like that, then we're stuck. So I need to see if I can get that open. It's probably not going to be easy. Otherwise, I need to at least get it greased up as best as possible. The air fuel idle jet, not the air fuel, the idle jet was blocked. It did have something. You can see it's slightly blocked now, or it is blocked. There's like black stuff in there. It looks like silicone. Yeah. Yeah, it's completely blocked. Interesting that. It looks like silicone or something in there. So I don't know what the deal with that is. So I need to get this. You can see see on the top there. See that black smidging there. That's what's in there. So I'll clean all that out for now. That's quick and easy. And then I need to figure out why the slide's not returning. Is the spring set properly? Is the spring still okay? Does the slide need cleaning and greasing and so on? That staying up is dangerous, frankly, because as you throttle and that stays up, it can keep the throttle on and advanced, and it will never run well. That's the other thing; it will never run well. So I'm going to get this kind of sprayed out, cleaned out. I'm going to get the diaphragm off, see what's going on there, and we'll see what we can do. But ideally, we'll be piecing it back together. The advanced fuel squirt works, and this the diaphragm and the suction works. That's the ideal. So the fuel advance system had some nicks in it at the top, and that's why it was getting caught. So I've filed it down a touch, so that should be fine. The seat, the housing, is fine. Oh, where is it? It's here. It's fine, but yeah, and the spring is fine and working. The spring is in there as well. You can see that, and that works well. So we just need to get it all working smoothly, basically. So that's fine. I think that will be fine now. There's no point putting greases or anything on that because they get wet with fuel, I believe. They may not actually because they're housed. I'll put some copper grease on. But anyway, that I'm sure will be fine. I'm going to have a look at the diaphragm again because the spring was fine. The diaphragm itself isn't in the best shape. It is a bit rubbery, guys. as in a bit plasticky now, so it's not the best, but it should do a basic job still. It hasn't got any holes in it. It won't last much longer, I have to be honest. The ideal would be that there was a new one of them, but as long as it gets you on the road for now, it's fine. So let's put this all back together. My theory with why the diaphragm wasn't returning is because this hole here, I think, should be blocked. This one here, I think that's meant to be blocked. I think that's what helps create the suction. So I need to double check that when I put it all back together. Normally this would be capped off with something, and it's not. It goes all the way through. So I'm going to check that and see if I'm right. I might be right, I might be wrong. So let's get this all put back together, ready to go on the bike. It's all been cleaned out. Then all we need to do is make sure the bike gets fuel. If it gets fuel, there's no reason why it shouldn't start up and run and ride with that beautiful new slimline exhaust that I got for Amanda. Sorted. That's one part of the carb, a very important part of the carb that needs doing, so that's good to go. So the diaphragm is smooth enough again. My concern is it's not seating very low. I think it's meant to seat more. So I need to have another look. I mean, it looks very smooth. It just feels like something's blocking it. And it shouldn't be and wouldn't be. I mean, that could be right. It could just be me, because the butterfly valve controls everything else. That could be the right setup. I think I'll have to just give it a try. That's probably the best bet. Right, what I need to do now is, this is all ready to go back when needed. We know that we weren't getting any fuel pumping, so I think I'm going to try and drain the tank out as much as I can for now. Kind of start fresh. I'll put on the new fuel pump, I'll put on the new lines, and we should be in a better position from there. The fuel pump is down under here. Can we see it? Where is it? It's a square. I'm gonna have to actually get on the floor, aren't I? Oh god, where is it? It's up here, guys. It's up there. That is the fuel pump, that thing there. So the aim is to put the new one on that we've got, and then we've got the fuel tap here. That's the suction tap. I think that's probably okay, but we kind of need to just test it all at this stage. So problem we've got straight away, it's a very complex bike. So we have a fuel pump up there. That's a fuel pump. It's a mechanical fuel pump, but we also have a suction valve here, same as the problems we're having with the ER5. Now sucking on this should shoot it out, so watch. And of course it's absolutely not. So I mean, it is trickling out, but it's not shooting out. So that tap needs replacing, basically. Now if you're very, very lucky, the Typhoon one will be the same and will work. So I might have enough replacement parts to get this sorted. You can bet that this flathead doesn't want to come off easily, but we have to give it our best shot. Basically it has to be sucking fuel through to get to the fuel pump to then be powered up to the carb. So we failed at the first hurdle at the moment. So let's see if I can get this tap off, see what's going on. You can't really fix these taps unless one of the pipes blocked. I might have one on either of the other two bikes that works. Let's have a look. So just by loosening up the clip, I got a normal flow there, guys. Normal flow of fluids. So I'm wondering if having the normal flow is okay, if that will then power up to the pump, and if the pump will then power it back up to the carb, and then the carb flow itself will deal with the shutting off of the fuel. I don't know the answer, if I'm being honest. So I am going to try and connect all this up though and see if it does. We'll know, because we'll know by the flow coming up to here, won't we? There's two pipes coming off of the or pump. No idea what one sprays fuel. That's kind of the next step really. Put the fuel back through and see if I can get it pumped up to there first, and then see if it pumps from there, if that makes sense. So we've set up the line back to the old fuel pump. What we need to see now is if I put fuel in up there, does it come out up here, and what kind of speed does it come out up here? If it comes out up there, does me sucking on this make it come out any faster? So we want to see if we'll have fuel coming out of the fuel pump up here, and what kind of pressure. Then we'll need to see if that continues up at the top, if that makes sense, all the way up at the carb. So I'm going to dump some fuel in. We'll see if it trickles out of there at all, what kind of speed it trickles out, and if sucking on this pipe, the suction pipe, helps. So there's fuel in there. Let's see if sucking on this pipe makes anything happen. You are looking up there. No, nothing. So it could be the pump, or it could be the... We still need a suction tap here, really, don't we? What we can try is the new pump over here. So we'll pull it off here. If I pull this tube off now, it should be flowing. And see if the new pump kind of speeds it up. Let's have that. Let's try that. Okay, watch this. See that? Sorry, it's terrible filming, but sucking on this makes it better. So that is kind of working. I don't know where that suction pipe comes from or goes to. This one, either I need to work out the suction system at this stage. That line needs to go back up to the carb. We're losing a lot of fuel, so I need to catch that fuel and get back up to the carb. Okay, so we're all connected back up. However, I have an issue. This suction system is all connected back up. This is the new fuel pump, okay? Suction system. The top of the suction system comes up to here. Where does that go? What causes suction? Where does it come from? That's water pumps. That goes to the carbs. That just goes through the carb. Where am I getting my suction from? I feel like it might be from there, but I don't know. This basically would normally go somewhere on the engine, like the intake boot. Can't see any suction on the intake boots anywhere. Sometimes on the carb. So without it suction, it's not going to be sucking fuel. What a pain. Where else would you get suction from? It would need to be something mechanical, something turning, something creating suction, like an engine. I'm gonna have to Google it. Okay guys, this is what we're looking for. The battery's in now. Here's my fuel hose. Here. We're all turning it over now. Kick out fuel from there. If not, and I block the top of that other pipe, will it then kick out fuel? So we need to see, can we get fuel up here by turning the engine over? That's weird, it cuts itself off. Right, let me try if I block this. So I'm blocking this. No fuel. Let me see if I... Oh, did something drip there?
I don't see anything dripping.
Let me see if the suction works. I'm going to try and suck it through.
Do you remember last time?
It shouldn't be like that this time, technically.
Nothing yet.
First thing I need to do is make sure there's enough in there, guys. Not sure if there's any fuel in that carb, guys. It appears like there is, but let's kick it over a few times and see if we get lucky. Right.